It was a calm Saturday afternoon in the quiet suburbs of Virginia. Agent Marcus Hayes, a respected black FBI agent, finally had the day off. Instead of investigating cases or briefing officers, he was doing something far more precious, walking his 8-year-old daughter Lily to the local ice cream shop. The two laughed as they shared a cone, their hands locked in comfort and trust. To anyone watching, it was a simple, heartwarming scene, a loving father and his child. But for one police officer that day, it was something else entirely. As Marcus and Lily strolled down Maple Avenue, a patrol car slowed beside them. The officer inside, a middle-aged white man with a hardened look, squinted suspiciously through the window. Moments later, flashing red and blue lights filled the street. "Hey, you there," the officer barked as he stepped out. "What's going on here? Why are you holding that girl's hand?" Marcus turned calmly, keeping his tone respectful. "We're just walking home. She's my daughter." The officer frowned. "Your daughter? You expect me to believe that?" His voice carried that sharp edge, the kind that wasn't just about procedure, but prejudice. Lily clutched her father's hand tighter. "Daddy, what's happening?" she whispered. "It's okay, sweetheart," Marcus assured her softly. "Everything's fine." But everything was far from fine. "I got a call about a possible abduction," the officer said, resting his hand on his holster. "Let me see some ID." Marcus reached into his pocket slowly. "Of course," he replied. "Here's my badge. I'm Special Agent Marcus Hayes, FBI." But the officer barely glanced at it before shoving Marcus against the police car. "Yeah, sure you are. You people always got a story," he sneered. Lily screamed. "Stop hurting my dad." Passers-by began to gather, phones raised. Yet the officer, lost in his own bias, handcuffed Marcus on the spot, ignoring the terrified child and the badge gleaming in his hand. Marcus remained calm, his training kicking in. "Officer, you're making a mistake," he said, his voice steady even under humiliation. "Call the bureau and verify my credentials." But the officer refused. "Save it. You're under arrest for kidnapping." 10 minutes later, another squad car arrived. A senior officer stepped out, confusion written all over his face. "What's going on here?" he asked. "Caught this guy walking with a little girl," the arresting officer replied proudly. "Claims she's his daughter. Says he's FBI." The senior officer turned to Marcus. "Sir, can I see your badge?" Marcus handed it over. The man studied it carefully, then made a quick call on his radio. Moments later, his eyes widened. "Oh my God," he muttered. "He's telling the truth." He spun toward the arresting officer. "Release him, now." The officer froze. "Wait, what?" "He's a federal agent, you idiot," the senior officer shouted. "You just assaulted an FBI agent and traumatized his daughter." The handcuffs were quickly removed, but the damage was done. Marcus pulled Lily close, comforting her as tears streamed down her face. Within days, the story exploded online. Witnesses had filmed everything: the arrest, the panic, and the moment Marcus calmly identified himself. News outlets replayed the footage on every network. "A black FBI agent wrongfully detained for walking with his white daughter," headlines read. The incident sparked outrage across the nation. The police department scrambled to contain the fallout. Internal Affairs launched an investigation, and within a week, the officer responsible was terminated. But Marcus didn't stop there. He filed a federal lawsuit for racial profiling, unlawful arrest, and emotional distress caused to his daughter. And in court, the truth stood tall. The judge's ruling was swift and damning. The department was ordered to pay $5 million in damages. When reporters asked Marcus if the money made up for what happened, he simply said, "No, because that day my little girl learned that her daddy wasn't seen as a man, just as a threat." You can't put a price on that. Months later, life slowly returned to normal. Marcus and Lily still took their walks together, but now she held his hand a little tighter. Every time someone looked twice, Marcus just smiled gently and kept walking. He knew change wouldn't happen overnight, but he also knew that silence and fear never fixed anything. Sometimes, standing tall, even in the face of humiliation, is the most powerful act of justice there is. And though it cost the department $5 million, it reminded the world of something far more valuable: that respect and equality should never depend on the color of a person's skin or the child's hand they're holding. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more racial justice contents.